Nerchio and Bly in the quarterfinals of the Go4SC2 monthly January. As we have to the bottom left, the red Zerg player. It is from Team Expert, Bly. And to the upper right-hand side, our blue Zerg player, it is Euronix. Well, no longer Euronix, Nerchio, sorry. Still has the ESG tag in front of his name. And that's, gets like stimulating my impulse to just say his team name. ZvZ Dragon. How you doing? I'm not gonna read your nonsense. Well, I did read it, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna read it out. I've got you beat here. I have the high ground, Fear Dragon. I do not need to read out your thing. Alright. So sign up into this guy's game number 1. Let's see what direction it goes in as we have Hatch, Gas, and there's going to be a pool as well. In the chat we have Alessandra, who is actually cheering on Bly. So Alessandra cheering on Bly here, getting ready to go. What's up, Simpson? How you doing as well, mate? Bob in the chat too, what's up? Wow, look at this. Some banter between the players gets started. As the Hatch Gas pool comes up. Neither of these players are going to be throwing something immediately at each other, although of course in ZvZ, even the Hatch Gas pool can very quickly turn or take an aggressive turn by skipping a third hatchery and going straight in towards some other bits and pieces here and there. So setting up in towards this, as we do see the couple of hatches continue to come on up, and this time it is Nerchio who's actually going to be already throwing down that third hatchery, throwing it towards the gold base. So getting that set up and ready to go. Queens on either side as well. But Bly is going to bypass the next hatch for now, instead getting an extra queen, a couple of extra drones. Obviously the fact that Nerchio has this on a gold base can make up for the kind of few drones he's going to have a little bit slower, etc., due to the fact that he's already thrown the hatchery down. So let's see how this goes. There's that gold base for now about halfway done. And this drone of Nerchio just going to pop on down from the main base to the natural to continue seeing just what is up. Queen going to be popping here in a moment or so, and we'll be getting ready to inject. So inject comes down, and as the inject comes down, just going to be seeing another queen on the way up in the main base. Just a couple of overlords spread out each side of the natural expansion. Continue to get in towards this now as we see the lair on the way in the main. Continue to see what will happen next as the Baneling Nest comes on down from Nerchio. But the lair very quick here from Bly, and you got to think, well, what could this be? And obviously one of the first things that has to spring to mind is Mutalisks? Question mark face. Which is definitely a possibility here. Mutas are something we could be seeing out of Bly with this. The other possibility I have to imagine would be something like the kind of like a Nidus play or so, which would be kind of interesting with 2 more gases coming down. It's not going to be the case. It is going to be Mutalisks here. So Aspire to drop on down. And just Bly rushing up to Mutas. Let's see if he can get there. Of course, I mean, Nerchio is going to be in a grand position to deal with it. Okay, it's, you know, the bases which he has are kind of a little bit separated from each other. They're not the easiest to move queens around and defend, but he's going to have that gold base he go from early in the game without Bly applying any pressure onto it, which gives Nerchio a lot of time to just set up, build up a defense, and maybe even just to scout this as well. I mean, difficult to scout because it's very rare. You're going to be sending overlords in a ZvZ, but you can send a couple of lings by, which is what these lings of Bly are looking to kind of deter as well. Keep lings of Nerchio at home, perhaps, and that will allow him to, of course, then keep the Spire a little bit more hidden. But right now, he's actually just straight up dealing damage as well, because Nerchio didn't have any lings out, and that is 6 workers going down very quickly. So it's going to be seeing the drones getting picked off. There's a few more lings just coming out and joining up down on the low ground. There is that Spire about halfway done, so it's about halfway done, and now the third hatchery is on its way up as well here from Bly as it gets set up to go once again. More Zerglings coming across from both players. This time Nerchio might be able to get that scout in towards the main base, and that's where the queens are going to come in. Maybe try and block this. They actually get themselves surrounded. Can Nerchio actually fight this? Well, the first queen with energy on it goes down very quickly. Nerchio does skip a few lings up into the main, and that's going to be huge for him. He's also, by the way, playing a melee upgrade, so he's actually looking to continue playing a ling-heavy style, which against mutas can work kind of okay, because you can actually outdart the Mutals a little bit more so than Roaches. And of course now you can start to set up in towards an anti-Mutalist setup. Extra Queens coming on through, Spore Crawlers will be able to come on down, and obviously the potential to throw down something like a Hydralisk Den is also going to be there to truly shut down any further pressure from Nerchio, as we're going to be seeing the single vein there goes off on a Zergling, and we're just going to be seeing some more of these Lings fighting away. A lot more Lings of Bligh coming in towards the top side of the map. Going to be running forwards here as a couple of Queens in position, ready to maybe fight this. We're just going to be seeing those Lings continue to run on forwards. And as we do have, the Queen's going to be actually starting to get taken down. So Queens now begin to fall. As we're going to see a couple of Banes coming over. I mean, getting rid of Queens, of course, is huge in this scenario, because it puts Bligh in a position where there's even less to defend his Mutalisks. Nerchio desperately goes across the map with some more of his Zerglings to try and do something, but they're even getting caught off as they go, although they will pull a few of the Mutas back, which is actually a big positive here. Nerchio is also losing an Overlord here and there as Overlord split away. Mutas chasing them down just to clean that out as well. Infestation Pit on the way behind the natural expansion, as we do see more Zerglings continuing to come on over towards the lower left-hand side. Another Muta or so continuing to fight as well. And Nerchio is cleaned up here as he still tries to scramble together a defense against the Mutas. He is going to work a lead though, Nerchio, 49 to 39. That will go a long way for him in the long run, as spores are coming up. Queens are sitting near them to make sure they're not just picked away at easily. Nerchio is, for now, looking as though he has stabilized somewhat. A Spore Crawler out here is not going to be abused by Bligh, as he's actually going to pull back home to deal with these Zerglings. Plus one melee, remember, means that Nerchio's Lings are a lot better than Bligh's Lings, and the Mutas having to come all the way back home is a big deal. I mean, this means they're not harassing. It means, well, it takes them forever to get home as well. And these Lings of Nerchio are really getting damage done. I mean, that's 9 workers, and obviously the potential to get a few more here towards the end as well. I mean, that's 12, as now he flies out, well, runs out with the Mutas flying in. 12 workers killed, not bad. I was going to see just a few more going down in the latter stages of this here. Another few Zerglings around the top side. They're going to jump onto a hatchery as well, I imagine, in the next few moments. And I was going to see Mutas and Lings again, just looking to push back those units of Nerchio. Nerchio doing some great counterattacks here, and obviously all of this just buys him more and more time to set up against those Mutalisks with a better set of tech. And this time it's going to be Infestors, which are now starting to come on through. So Infestors are coming on up. As you see, +2 melee, +1 carapace on their way as well. Lings actually see those rocks on the way down, and for a moment probably could have dove on through, but the hesitation from Nerchio costs him that opportunity, as we're going to see more Zerglings heading to the left. Bligh, by the way, has not been able to set up anything on his third hatchery just yet. He's been struggling to do that, and well, obviously the rocks are here to help him defend this, but if Nerchio even got to this space, there's nothing there to pick off. As Bligh bets some more Overlords up. Mutas have found themselves a whole bunch of Lings, as there really is only the Mutalist on the map at the moment from Bligh. 18 Mutas, 2 Queens, and 11 Zerglings. Currently against 6 Queens and triple Infester for the anti-air, and obviously a bunch more spores building up too, as Bligh will just be unrelenting in terms of continuing to produce Mutas. He's going to build Muta after Muta after Muta as Queens come into position, and we'll push those Mutas away nice and quickly, as more of these Zerglings are going to run on through towards the top side and go from there. Just fly in, and that's one Overlord already going down as the Spore Crawler dealing a little bit more damage. I mean, obviously, if you have a good spread of spores over time, you'll pick away at those Mutas. And just chipping away little by little does help a lot, as that's the first Fungal Growth that lands effectively. The second Fungal Growth just matches it, but the lack of creep spread between the bases is what's going to stop Nerchio from capitalizing on that opportunity that could have been so huge for him. Is now we're going to see, well, Bane's coming up to defend. Nerchio's going to start running by, though he does have a Carapace upgrade, which means he can tank a couple of Bane shots here and there. And he is actually going to start getting some damage done himself anyways. Oh, a bit messy at the end, but 17 drones going down. And it feels as though Bligh is losing the kind of the last stages of his economy here in this game. A few more Lings again picked off. Infestation Pit is going to finish. Some Infestors mid-map are going to burrow, and now he's going to land a Fungal Growth and a couple of Infested Terrans. Not sure if that was really worth the energy. Maybe just afraid that these Mutas were going to catch the Infestors, which I don't think was the case. Obviously, we can see that there's no Overseer, but Nerchio is not as easily kind of able to find that information now. As you can see, these rocks could be a good thing to target down if there was any kind of ground follow-up for Bligh that could punish the fact that the natural and the third base was somewhat disconnected because of the rocks. So that could be nice, but I just don't think there is that kind of follow-up on the ground here from Bligh. I mean, there's a handful of Zerglings, but really not many. As you're going to see him starting to come in towards this gold base now. Continuing to harass away here as that Extractor gets taken down, and just going for a little bit more as well. As the spores firing away, and the Mutas having to come back to the top More links through the center here now from Nerchio as he looks to dive in towards the natural expansion. And Nerchio is already going to be starting to pick away so many of these drones. Look at that already. 12, 13 workers going down. Making up for the workers he's lost back on his side of the map. And the thing is, this is not stopping because Nerchio just goes into the main base again. And Bly has just not been able to find an answer for those run-bys as now he's just bleeding Mutilates to a couple of Spore Crawlers. I mean, Queen's over here surrounded by Zerglings, but Bly just knows he does not have enough to truly fight this. He's only got 4 drones left. He can't build anything else, and Nerchio will end up taking game 1. Get the better of Nerchio and to return to a leveled position in the series. To the top left-hand side, the red Zerg player from currently teamless. Nearly did it again. Currently teamless, our red Zerg player is Nerchio. And there it is. The choice from our Zerg player in the bottom right, a 12 pool to try and take game 2. Our blue Zerg is Bly. Okay, then game number 2, and it's gonna be Bly trying to be aggressive at for the opportunity to tie this up 1-1. Let's see if he can find himself some success here or not in this matchup. So that spawn pool about halfway done already, coming up to completion in the next few moments. As we get ourselves set up and away into this overlord from Bly coming up towards the top side right now as well. Just finishing up there, and a few drones on the way from Nerchio as he goes hatchery first into gas and pool. So definitely holdable at 12 pool on a hatch gas pool. Catalyst, one of the harder maps to do it on because of the shorter rush distance, obviously. One of the only maps that has a shorter rush distance than Catalyst, the map pool is Abiogenesis, which is the rush map of the moment. So yeah, send up into this, and Catalyst will allow for Bly to get these first Zerglings across quickly. Bly doesn't take gas behind this, so he is going to be able to start his hatchery. Nerchio is going to see this in just a few moments' time. This Overlord will be his first sighting of those 6 Zerglings, and obviously for now he can't really react in any way, but he can continue to set up and prepare for follow-up attack. Or, you know, you can kind of like mentally prepare, right? You can be like, okay, well, now I know when my spawning pool finishes, I'm going to make this and this and this, and that and that and that, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. So Nerchio will go up against this now. Let's see how well he can do. Let's see if Bly can do enough to justify the 12 pool. 6 Lings starting to nibble their way onto this hatchery here in the natural expansion. Already a fair amount of damage being done as these drones of Nerchio are going to pull down to the low ground and going to be trying to do a little bit more here as we're going to see some Zerglings turn back around to fight as well. And those drones are pushed away. Drones coming back in then, and a little bit of back and forth here at the moment, honestly, as we're going to see 2 more Zerglings popping out, and again, drones pulling back down into this, trying to see if they can keep on fighting. More Zerglings coming into play, and still just going to keep on trading with this at the moment. You're going to see those Zerglings trying to fight back once again, pushing those drones and Lings back into the main mineral line, or the natural mineral line. Well, Nerchio defending well. I mean, keeping the hatch alive, being able to keep on mining so effectively on so many drones on the natural. Now, Queens are starting to come up too, and obviously they add quite a lot of damage output to the army. He's going to surround one of these Queens here, but I don't think that works up. I don't think he even gets the kill. Oh my god, it's super close. It just goes down because Bly every single Zergling for this one Ling, which is 1 hit away from going down, and it will be sniped by this Queen. And obviously from here, Bly, I think, well, he actually does have a worker lead, even though I'm not too sure. I don't really feel as though that was a lot done. There's a worker lead. I guess we'll see where it goes from this stage. But obviously 2 or 3 workers up is not bad, although Nerchio is going to be catching up pretty quick. And Nerchio will have the Ling speed to keep his advantage with as well. Spankful on the way up as Bly goes straight for the Rotron as double gases start to drop on down. Evo Chamber as well, looking to just wall off at the front, probably to help minimize any sort of Ling run-bys that Nerchio might try and go for to utilize that Ling speed. So even if Nerchio can't break the wall, he will be able to keep Bly away from a 3rd hatchery, while he himself will be able to keep himself or get towards that 3rd base without too much issue. So setting up towards that here is going to see 2 Queens just moving forwards from Nerchio. Going to be able to target down this Overlord in the next couple of moments, and they are going to be able to start targeting that. So Overlord taking quite a bit of damage and is going to fall in the next moment or so. And it gets popped. Overlord goes down. Ling is still poking at the front, and ooh, try and dive in for some scout information. I mean, you see the Rotron in the Evo Chamber, but it doesn't necessarily tell you exactly what's going on in this game. It doesn't give you an exact idea of, aha, well, that's the way this is going. So, yeah, just you know, just seeing that initially, it's like, well, you don't know for sure whether it's going to be, you know, for example, Ling Speed starting up. Maybe it's a lair and it's a Spire again. That information is something that you just don't have here as Nerchio, so it's a little bit of a shame. As you can see, I'm just still trying to pick up that info, and again, Queens are there to kind of block, maybe able to force the transfuse, but even his Link count is just looking a little bit low to maybe do that. Just gets the transfuse in the very end there. But now he doesn't really have any Zerglings to force the third hatchery to continue coming on up. And so without that coming on through, Nerchio's going to be in this position where, well, he's just going to set up into missile upgrades. His own patch is going to be finishing soon. His Lair and Rotron coming through, and well, look at this. Bly's actually starting to make a lot of Zerglings, so he's looking to catch Nerchio off guard, and that's why that scout on the Ling speed could have been huge. A lot of Lings and a lot of possibilities here from Bly to just get across the map and catch Nerchio. So, I mean, look at this. He's just hiding them until Ling speed finishes. And if he runs across the map with so many Zerglings at once and Nerchio just has nothing in preparation, this could really hurt for him. And he does have double Spine Crawler coming up the front, so Nerchio has been very safe. Roach is starting to come out. The thing is, Roaches in the lower numbers do not do very well against the Lings if they can get proper surrounds. And, oh man, going around the right side, this Overlord is here on the high ground, but there's nothing up this right-hand pathway for Nerchio to see this. He's got absolutely no clue that this set of Zerglings is coming across, and now his +1 is about to finish. Bly is making Roaches to follow up as well. He's going to start that hatchery. He's actually a little bit lava blocked at the moment, but once he gets that lava... Oh, now he's supply blocked, so he actually can't spend what is quite a lot of money and potential more Roaches or Ravagers. Two Queens go down instantly. Here's Nerchio starts to move Roaches of his own into position. As we are going to see those Lings continue to try and die for the natural, but Nerchio has units in defensive positions, and it looks as though Nerchio will hold on for now with the worker lead that he has. This was a solid hold from Nerchio, and immediately starts to go across the map here. I mean, Lings are going to try and counter-attack around once again. How does Nerchio deal with that? Well, Spinecrawler comes into position. He's got some Lings of his own, but not really enough to straight up fight this. Pulls back towards one of these spines, which will help. He's getting a few more Roaches out too. He's just desperate to get across the map and to actually try and make something happen with this set of Roaches, but I just don't think he's going to find it. Not just yet. Those Lings in the natural expansion do now go down. There's a couple more Lings coming up the right hand side. All of these Roaches pulling back up to the top. They have had enough. They are done. And they're not able to find the opportunity, the opening that Nerchio perhaps thought was there, but Nerchio immediately into +2 missile attack upgrade. There's no road speed here from Bly either, because he didn't have a lair with this attack, and Nerchio's defense is now really starting to pay off for him. It's starting to kind of just show how much of a lead he can take because of it. As we're going to see more Zerglings coming down the right-hand side. Nerchio continue to push around to see what else he can get up to. So a few more Zerglings gathering together on the right side. You're going to see those Roaches just setting up as well. They did knock down these rocks, which means that there is a blockade to stop Lings from getting through. And there's Nerchio still just heavily ahead on those upgrades. And if he hits a +2, +1 upgrade lead over just +1, that could be somewhat deadly. But let's see how he approaches it. Some more drones on the way. He's starting to really saturate this hatchery now. Obviously wants to get this mineral line full of workers and get that mineral income booming, so that he can just continue to play in a strong position. Obviously, Bly doing the same. Both players taking the chance to drone up in recent times up towards the 50-ish worker marker. Still see more Roaches of Nerchio, though, to the left-hand side, still looking for their chance to take a fight. Although right now, taking a fight's not too much of a possibility, and those Roaches will have to just back away. So Roaches backing away up through the center, and it's going to be seeing some more Zerglings over to the right-hand side. They're going to be setting up as well, so a bunch of Zerglings setting up over to the right, and we're just going to be seeing again all of the Roaches coming back up to the top. And +2 missiles, +1 carapace on the way here from Nerchio still. A few more Roaches still on the way out as well. And the Hydralisk Den coming down behind the main base. A lot more Zerglings over to the left-hand side, seeing what they can do in the next few moments. There's 5 more Ravagers, 7 more Roaches building. Nerchio's going to be maxing out soon. I mean, okay, he's like 30 supply off, but it feels as though his Roach numbers are just kind of increasing so rapidly here. Continuing to just increase at kind of an alarming rate. Especially if you're Bly right now, you got to look at this and be like, oh my god, you know, how am I ever going to defend this? It is going to be difficult, as we see those Roaches still moving around a little bit, splitting themselves up, gathering back together again. Spinecrawler comes down towards the third base, as we're just going to be seeing these Roaches from Bly continue to push up the left-hand side, and we're just going to be seeing Nerchio continue to pull back up through the center as well. So Roaches and Ravagers continue to gather up, and Another couple of Ravagers setting up here as well on this left side. Continue to push down through the center to see what else is going to happen. A few more roaches peel away to the left. You're going to see Zerglings already surrounding this hatchery. That is going to be a cancel there, so hatchery gets cancelled. This roach going to get picked off as well, but Nerchio's found himself a fight. Not only does he have the +1 Carapace upgrade lead, he also has the Ravagers, which is something that Bly does not have, and that's going to go a long way to helping Nerchio out. And from such a good defense of the 12th pool early, Nerchio has held this lead and kept it throughout the game, and has played it out in pretty much just the perfect manner to be able to, well, bring it through into what is a winning fight in the latter stages now. As we're going to be seeing Nerchio just dominate that fight well and truly, and this is pretty much going to be it as those roaches continue to push them away. And that is about all for now. There's more roaches and Ravagers coming back over to the right hand side. That really is just about it. There's a few more roaches of Bly going to pull away to the left. Another roach going down here and there, and that is GG. Nerchio goes to the semi-finals of today's Go4SC2.